As mudlarks, we find a lot of things that were lost and discarded in Victorian times. Clay pipe bowls are a frequent find, as they were the cigarettes of the day, sometimes only used once and then thrown away. We love to collect those with patterns on the bowl, some with faces or animals, mottos and crests. We also collect plain pipe bowls so we can create something new from them. Keep watching as we transform some of them into the characters of a well-known Christmas story.
It's 179 years since Charles Dickens wrote A Christmas Carol, one of the world's most enduring and influential stories of goodwill. It was first published in December 1843 and has never been out of print since. It's been adapted countless times for stage, TV and film, but nothing can substitute the experience of reading, or being read, the book itself. The story is full of memorable characters, not least that of Ebenezer Scrooge, the embodiment of misery, the antithesis of joy, who in the end teaches the world the true spirit of Christmas. In this ghost story, Dickens brought about a real change in the attitudes of the time, and still promotes charitable thoughts towards our fellow beings at Christmas. Charles Dickens' description of Scrooge is one of the most wonderful ever written. Oh, but he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, Scrooge, a squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner, hard and sharp as flint, from which no steel had ever struck out a generous fire, secret and self-contained and solitary as an oyster. The cold within him froze his old features, nipped his pointed nose, shriveled his cheek, stiffened his gait, made his eyes red, his thin lips blue, and spoke out shrewdly in his grating voice. A frosty rime was on his head and on his eyebrows and his wiry chin. He carried his own low temperature always about with him. He iced his office in the dog days and didn't thaw it 1 degree at Christmas. The first spirit to visit old Scrooge was the spirit of Christmas past. It was a strange figure, like a child, yet not so like a child as like an old man, viewed through some supernatural medium which gave him the appearance of having receded from view and been diminished to a child's proportions. Its hair, which hung about its neck and down its back, was white as if with age, and yet the face had not a wrinkle in it, and the tenderest bloom was on its skin. Jacob Marley had been Scrooge's business partner in life, who'd been dead for 7 years, and it was Marley's ghost who came to warn Scrooge of the impending visits of the 3 spirits of Christmas. Marley's ghost was bound with chains that were hung with cash boxes, keys, padlocks, ledgers, deeds, and heavy purses wrought in steel. "I wear the chain I forged in life," says Marley. "I made it link by link and yard by yard. I girdled it on of my own free will, and of my own free will I wore it." The spirit raised a frightful cry and shook its chains with such a dismal and appalling noise that Scrooge held on tight to his chair to save himself from falling in a swoon. But how much greater was his horror when the phantom, taking off the bandage round his head, as if it were too warm to wear indoors, its lower jaw dropping down upon his breast.
The next was the spirit of Christmas present. "I am the ghost of Christmas present," said the spirit. "Look upon me." It was clothed in one simple green robe or mantle, bordered with white fur. This garment hung so loosely on the figure that its capacious breast was bare, as if disdaining to be warded or concealed by any artifice. Its feet, observable beneath the ample folds of the garment, were also bare, and on its head wore no other covering than a holly wreath, set here and there with shining icicles. Its dark brown curls were long and free as its genial face, its sparkling eye, its open hand, its cheeky voice, its unconstrained demeanour, and its joyful air. finally came the dreaded spirit of Christmas yet to come. The phantom slowly, gravely, silently approached. When it came near him, Scrooge bent down upon his knee. For in the very air through which the spirit moved, it seemed to scatter gloom and misery. It was shrouded in a deep black garment, which concealed its head, its face, its form, and left nothing of it visible, save one outstretched hand. But for this, it would have been difficult to detach its figure from the night and separate it from the darkness by which it was surrounded. And here are our cast of Christmas Carol characters, each made from a Victorian clay pipe bowl, painted, glazed and fired, and now to be hung as decorations on the Northern Mudlarks Christmas tree. We hope you've enjoyed watching. If you have, please leave a comment, like and subscribe to our channel. Also, if you haven't, please visit our main Mudlarking channel, Northern Mudlarks, by following the links below. A huge thank you to all of you for supporting our channels this year. We wish you all a very happy midwinter season and a joyful new year.